Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland took place in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 22, Brunson versus Holland, and I can't believe what I've just seen. I'm going to give my reaction to what I just saw for 25 minutes. I picked Kevin Holland to win. You have to forgive me, guys. I didn't realize that Kevin Holland had money on Brunson. I really didn't realize it, okay? Because there was very, very obvious moments in that bout where you realized Kevin Holland might actually not be trying. I know that some people who have not watched this bout and are only listening to my reaction now and they're going to try and catch it tomorrow or something like that may think I'm over-exaggerating. No, it genuinely was such a bad performance by Kevin Holland. It looked like he was throwing the fight intentionally because there's no way anyone can actually have that bad of takedown defense. It was one of the most embarrassing performances. It was the most embarrassing, high-profile performance in recent MMA history, and I've never liked someone so much before an event that I now completely despise and hate and want dead. I don't want him to die, of course, because he has, I believe, children, but I'm close to that level, and I still like Holland's personality, but it was such a terrible, terrible performance. And I know that Derek Brunson got the job done. If you don't know the result of the fight, Derek Brunson won the fight by unanimous decision. He just grounded out Kevin Holland on the ground for all 5 rounds. Every single round, Brunson would get a takedown, and Holland would immediately body triangle himself into full guard from on bottom rather than attempt any kind of scramble whatsoever and just talk to Derek Brunson while being beaten up on bottom the entire fight long. I thought it was a game plan. I thought, okay, the joke's going on long enough, but round 5, Holland's going to come out like a fucking maniac and KO Derek Brunson. This has been the game plan all along. They're tricking Derek Brunson into thinking that Kevin Holland is that bad. Holland is saving all of his cardio until round 5, and that's when he's going to unleash something on Derek Brunson. Now, Holland had some moments where he caught Brunson with some really good shots, because again, Derek Brunson won the fight. You can't say that was a good performance by Derek Brunson. You can't say that. I know people are going to be talking about I'm salty because my pick lost. I'm just telling it how it is here, okay? Brunson looked like absolute fucking dog shit. So did Kevin Holland. But Holland looked so much like dog shit that it made Brunson win the fight somehow based on just not looking as much of like dog shit as Kevin Holland was. It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen in the main event in a very long time. And I've watched a lot of Derek Brunson bouts. Like, it was really bad. Brunson gassed out after the first round. He's been in the game for so long. He was like throwing punches like he was underwater. That's not an exaggeration. He was slow motion jabbing Kevin Holland. I thought at one point maybe Derek Brunson had rigged it. I thought, oh my god, is Derek Brunson like asking to be KO'd right now? He's literally throwing fucking punches in slow motion. Oh wait, he's got a body lock on Kevin Holland. Oh wait, he's manipulated the weight of Kevin Holland by a minuscule. And now Kevin Holland's going to fall on the ground and put himself in full guard on bottom with a body triangle. Like a fucking embarrassing bitch. Like people don't have fucking money on him. Then, 10 seconds left in the round, at the end of the 5th round, Derek Brunson has won the fight. He has won the fight against Kevin Holland. He stands up and lets Kevin Holland get back to his feet in the 5th round. 10 seconds for Kevin Holland to reverse all 24 minutes and 50 seconds of the bout and make something happen like Jairzinho Rozenstruik against Alistair Overeem in that 5th round with 10 seconds left. Kevin Holland has a chance on the feet to go after Derek Brunson and land something big. What does Derek Brunson do? Or what does Kevin Holland do after Derek Brunson lets him up in the 5th round? 10 seconds left, Kevin Holland points at Khabib, starts talking to him, and just starts walking off away from Derek Brunson. With 10 seconds left in a fight that he's been losing the entire time in. He stands up, points at a coach or something, maybe Khabib, he was talking to Khabib the entire time, and just starts walking like Spike Carlisle did against fucking Billy Quarantillo, if you remember that at the end of round 1. Just starts walking off. Not because he thought the fight was over, because he knew there was 10 seconds left, he heard the clacker, and he just walked off and acted like he didn't even want to fucking win. He took down Derek Brunson, ruined Derek Brunson's 100% takedown defense that he's had for like a decade in the UFC. Brunson has kept his takedown defense at 100%. Kevin Holland despite being one of the worst grapplers I've ever seen in my fucking life. He's the one to take away the 100% takedown defense of Derek Brunson. And that's literally only because of how gassed out Brunson was. Brunson had 1 round of cardio. After that, it literally looked like someone had flooded the octagon and they were fighting in a fucking fishbowl. They were slow motion fighting. I've never seen such an embarrassing performance in such a long time from someone who had so much potential. He looked like he had no fucking idea what he was doing whatsoever. I don't know what to say. I know people are going to say I'm salty. I picked Kevin Holland. I'm jumping off the bandwagon. I am. But I'm not, because he'll beat other middleweights. And this is another thing I want to talk about, man. This is another thing I want to talk about right now. I've said this for the past year. People keep calling me dumb and I'm overreacting and I'm anti-Israel Adesanya or something dumb like this. Middleweight is the worst division in male MMA by fucking far. I've said that for an entire year. Everyone says, no, Guru, it's flyweight. No, Guru, it's light heavyweight. No, Guru, it's heavyweight. After watching what Jan Blachowicz did to Israel Adesanya and watching Israel Adesanya not know that he had to close his guard on bottom to stop someone passing over it, and watching what I just watched there between 2 top contenders in the middleweight division, look at Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. Bantamweights, top 50. They are top 50 fighters in the UFC, in the 40 to 50 range. Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez looked better than Holland versus Brunson, and it's not even a discussion. It's not even a fucking discussion. The middleweight division, as I've said for the past year, that people have told me I'm done for saying, is the worst division in men's MMA by far. What an embarrassing performance by Kevin Holland. He had some moments. He landed some good shots here and there. But then he would go right back to talking to Derek Brunson and just allowing himself to be taken down. And then on the bottom, at the end of the round at one point, he goes for a scramble with 2 seconds left, gets out of it, and then just, why not do that before the 2 seconds left? Why save that? Why? I've never been more disappointed in someone that I have believed in so much in my entire life of watching this sport of MMA. He genuinely looked like he had money on Brunson. And I'm not over-exaggerating, man. I'm not over-exaggerating. He genuinely looked like he had money on Brunson by decision. He's good at defending punches on the ground. That's all I figured out. And I learned that in the Thiago Santos fight anyway. He's got good defense on the ground. He rarely gets hit by big ground and pound shots because he defends well and rolls with certain punches on the ground. Other than that, I just don't see any promise in him whatsoever, but he'll still go on and probably beat a lot of middleweight contenders. And that just goes to show you how trash this fucking division is. Derek Brunson being a top 5, he's going to be number 5 ranked in that division. The loser of Vittori Till is going to move below Derek Brunson. So is Jack Hermansson, okay? Derek Brunson on Tuesday is going to be ranked number 5 in the middleweight division. Go and watch Holland versus Brunson. Watch Brunson throw punches in any round past round 2. He's genuinely in slow fucking motion, completely gassed out, nothing in the tank, and the first round wasn't even a high pace. It wasn't. He was just touching Kevin Holland with total strikes on the ground. Landing some decent shots, don't get me wrong, but like not even a crazy pace with a bunch of scrambles and a bunch of shots to the body or anything like that. He completely gassed out after round 1. He looked like he was throwing punches underwater in round 2. I genuinely thought he was setting up Holland to KO him. Like he knew he'd won the first and now he's going to get KO'd by Kevin Holland and he was just waiting for it to happen. And it nearly did happen in the second round, but Brunson survived. Like it was... that was embarrassing, man. That was so embarrassing. And Holland looked like he didn't even want to win. So I'm just going to find it really hard putting money on him from now on. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess he can go back to fighting cans on short notice and getting quick turnarounds and doing that because how old is he? How much time have we got with him before he hits his prime? I swear he's like 28 or something like that. How old is Kevin Holland? Brunson versus Holland. Kevin Holland is the age of 28. He's got half a year of being 20. He's never going to become champion ever in his entire career. And if he does, cut the middleweight division from the UFC. I swear to God. If Holland somehow gets his hands on a belt, cut the middleweight division from the UFC. We don't need that fucking LFA garbage in there. We don't need that fucking LFA garbage. Absolute dog trash. The whole fight was absolute dog shit. And people are going to be mad at me. You're not in there. You're not fighting. I know enough that if my career is on the line and I'm on the ground with an opponent, I am not going to body triangle myself into full guard on bottom. That's what I know I'm going to not do. I don't care if I'm not going to throw the straight right hand the same way Kevin Holland is. I don't care if I'm not going to throw the head kicks the same way Kevin Holland is. He literally was losing intentionally, it felt like. I would at least try to do something. And people... I'm not over-exaggerating, man. That was embarrassing to watch. And I would, like, wipe that from history if I was the UFC. You don't want people watching that and seeing a top contender in Derek Brunson do that. And seeing a top contender in Kevin Holland do that. That was the biggest example of why the middleweight division is the worst division in the entire UFC I've ever seen in my life. Other than that, it was the fact that Israel Adesanya got to a belt without realising that he had to keep his guard closed on bottom. At least Kevin Holland knew that he had to keep his guard closed so he didn't get passed over. Adesanya made it to a belt at middleweight without realizing he needed to close his guard on bottom. If I'm a welterweight, I'm moving up. James Vick should make a comeback at middleweight and he'd have a chance against Derek Brunson. That's not a joke. He's talking to Habib. It's funny. It is funny. He's talking to them. He's making all these conversations. He's going back and forth with Habib. He's having all these moments. But when you're out there, and if someone tilts you off balance by even just the slightest of angles, you're on the canvas, on the ground, not being able to do anything to get back up. They weren't even good takedowns. Derek Brunson didn't blast double leg him. He didn't single leg him and tilt him off balance or anything like that. He didn't get the hand behind the hips against the cage and drag out Holland and then get him to the ground afterwards. He didn't pick up Holland and land a big slam. He didn't do any of that whatsoever. He literally just toppled Holland a little bit off balance and Holland would just collapse to the ground like his legs don't fucking work. How the fuck did he beat Jacare Souza? How the fuck did he triangle nearly Jacare Souza? How did he nearly triangle Jacare Souza? How did he nearly Kimura Thiago Santos? How did he nearly armbar Thiago Santos? On short notice. He's absolute dog shit. Unless he's on the feet and no one grapples with him whatsoever, he's actually fucking dog shit in I think he's a black belt. I'm going to look it up right now. I think he's a black belt. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu off of Travis Fulton. Burn it. He's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to go. Like and subscribe. Click that button up there. Goodbye. See you later, guys. Toodle pip. I'm going to go. Wow. That was really eye-opening for me to see that. He is really garbage. He is really, really a fat, steaming heap of garbage on the ground. His grappling is dog shit. Goodbye.